Greetings, it's Vaygrim, back in the Mod Guides world, in front of the radio, as a matter of fact. Now, I put a call into the audience, and in record time, you guys got back to me. I was planning on doing some other things today that have kind of gone sideways, but I decided to share this with you instead. The radio episode was a very, very big hit, not just because the radio was cool, because it was a challenge, okay? It was a kind of a logical challenge, and you, the audience, tackled it very quickly. Now, the first solution was submitted in the comments by a gentleman by the name of Edward Tan. Edward, I have actually seen you comment. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm Texan, forgive me. I have seen you comment on some of my other videos before, but you came back very, very quick with a solution. And this is using the PRC from Rednet. Now, this thing is very, very complicated. Programmable Rednet controller from Minefactory Reloaded. Basically, this thing is an all-in-one, multi-purpose, massive-purpose logic circuit. Now, this thing's not easy to use. The documentation for it exists, barely, but it melts my brain just trying to read through it. And I've had a lot of requests lately to try and get some mod guides. Well, consider this step one on touching the PRC and getting used to it. I will get some more mod guides at a future date that will get a better look at this thing. And maybe explain some more about what you can do with it. Now, I will never be able to cover all of the programmable Rednet controller. But I'll definitely see if I can teach you some really nifty tricks and setups. That's worth some time, for sure. Now, this was Edward Tan's setup. There's a thing called pass-through, gated. Basically what it does is it takes a signal, a redstone signal, and it gates it down to whatever level you set it at. That's what this thing is here, constant. I'm setting it to a strength level of 1. Now, of course, the maximum I can set it to is 15, but still. Actually, the maximum I can set it to is 255, but I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if that works with... I don't think that will work with ordinary redstone, because ordinary redstone, the signal dies after 15 blocks. But basically, I have it set to a signal of 1, because most of these radio stations are super loud. And his is real simple. You select pass-through. Now, this is I.O. This E, I think, is basically the input redstone signal. And O is the output. So I have it set to down with white. I didn't even change that. I.O. right with white. And basically, I have two PRC cables, one going down and one going out. Now, this is not small, but it's 12 blocks shorter than this setup that I have over here. This is 15 squares, basically, of redstone. And that takes up a lot of space. This is a considerable amount shorter. And this makes me happy. So, real quick, let's try Edward Tan's solution. It's a simple lever solution. Find it. There we go.
Also müsste der Nathan Andrew Fowler der sein, der das gemixt hat. Der müsste
That's German, I believe, but I'm a little rusty. And basically, I'm going to give you a quick variable. Brace your ears, ladies and gentlemen.
Auch das. Also ihr seht schon, und ich sage dann in solchen Momenten immer, wenn ich ein Hobbit wäre, dann könnte ich das. Aber bin ich
Now, when I switch that lever on, that's full blast 15. That is a maximum strength volume signal.
Ja, so sieht es aus. Haben Sie noch mehr? Oh ja, tatsächlich, gibt noch ein paar Alben.
Now in voice, that doesn't sound that bad, but I guarantee you when you're playing music, it is ear bleeding. So, what he has done is he has come up with this solution. I'm just going to pause right here. It's only one page. It's simple. It's easy to implement. You can pause the video and take a screenshot if you want to. I'm going to turn off the German. You can pause the video right here. Pause the radio. Genius. And get it to work. So, yeah, this is very simple. Now, by the way, yours will have colors here. I've turned on colorblind mode, so it has letter abbreviations. You can left-click to go to increment. Right-click to decrement. All the fields are that way. Very nice and simple. Now, you can change this to L, IOL, for left side of the PRC. And you can tell the front has the opening. There is literally a up, down, front, this side, and then back, the covered side. Then there's right, and lastly there's left. And this is oriented where the front is facing me. The front is that opening, basically. The back is the covered end, all the way at the back end of the block. So, when I had mine set, I have IOD for down, and then I have the output as IOR for right. Very simple. And this solution works very well. But not too long after Edward Tan posted his suggestion, I got one submitted via Twitter by a very eager and very smart-looking individual by the name of Les Leiter. Now, again, Les Leiter, I'm very sorry if I'm mispronouncing that in any way. I'm from the southern United States. We barely speak English nowadays, much less speak English well. So, this is the same space, just a little fancier. Now, Les Leiter, at Les Leiter, I'm going to let you know, initially I didn't think this worked because I was pressing the button and pressing the button and nothing was functioning. Then I realized I forgot to put a radio crystal in. So I definitely have my moments of stupidity. It took me about 2 minutes to realize, oh yeah, need to put a crystal in. So the only difference, there's 2 pages. Now here's the thing about the PRC. Each PRC just by itself is 6 pages that you can program and you can tie them in to all do one thing in a chain, or they can all do separate things. But you can add cards in here, little expansion cards that give you more pages and more functionality, but I don't need that basically right now. Here's the trick, right? This is very familiar. This is the same kind of thing, except instead of input, we have vars variables 0. The number 0, I believe. And we have a first page here. Now, here's where it's different. Basically, what Les Leiter has done is put in a T flip-flop. What that does is it turns a button into a lever signal. A T flip-flop is used a lot in vanilla Minecraft. There's the ways to make it in vanilla, but there's not a lot of ways to make it small and compact in vanilla. That's one of the benefits of having a Rednet controller, is that you can do it with the PRC in one block. So this is a T flip-flop. You press a button, and it emits an on signal for Redstone. And then you press the button again, and it turns it off. Just like a lever, but you get the convenience of a button. And some people like buttons better. I like the clicking noise. So it's that same constant of 1. Then IO down, that's where the button is, right there on that 1 square of of a Rednet cable. And I put that to orange. I don't think it really matters. Variables 0. I think this is where the signal that lever is coming from generates. Basically, when I press this button, the PRC hears it right here, and then it starts generating a signal of a strength of 1, and then and it puts it into this data field, basically, where this one picks it up as, oh, there's a redstone signal coming in, and it filters it down, again, to 1. So, basically what this does, there we go. This is vintage jazz, not radio CC. But what this does is generate a redstone signal of 1 with a button press instead of a lever. It's the only difference between these two. Press the button again. Radio's off. Nice, clean, very cool. So basically, I'm going to go over this again. This is what the first page looks like. And if you want to change where the button is, you just change this to left, right, up, down, front, back, whatever the case may be. And now you get a good look at this. You can pause the video if you want to. Next page is exactly the same as Edward Tan's solution, except for this right here. This has changed. The input is not coming from the button. The input is coming from this first page. Basically, it's coming from here, that variable. So, these are 2 very, very cool solutions. I'm just going to hang out right here for just a second. Okay, I think that's good enough. You can pause the video. And these are 2 very good solutions, and this is a perfect example of why I really do love the Minecraft community. I put out a question, I put out a challenge, and we had a lot of smart individuals, but these 2 specifically come back very, very quickly. Edward Tan, I'm kind of surprised, could figure this thing out this quick. Both of these people have apparently used the PRC controller enough to at least know how to use it, or at least know how to research it. I've used it in the past, but so much I have learned about it, I have almost immediately forgotten. because it is a very complex piece of equipment. So, thank you very much to Edward Tan for your lever solution. It works great. I really do love it. And here's the good part. Both of these solutions... Whoops. You see, I can actually just go into the PRC and change that number to control the volume on the fly. So, for instance, the British comedy chipset is quieter than the other ones, specifically because that internet radio station broadcasts at a lower volume level. This means that I can flip the lever and just go into the PRC and make a quick adjustment. Same thing over here if I want to. So yeah, experiment with this. Try it out for yourself. Now, it is important to note that you can, let me see if I can get a lever right here. You can stick a lever on the PRC, but it doesn't recognize it because what it's looking for is color-coded signals. That's what it's actually looking for. It wants to see what color a signal is coming in through. See, orange. And you cannot have a colorless input. So while you can put buttons and levers on the PRC, apparently it doesn't see them directly. It has to see them through the cables. That means there has to be at least 2 segments. Now here's another thing. I tried putting the input and the output here. But if you do, you have to make sure that they're different colors. You have to have the input, say, orange, and the output is white. If you have them both as white, then you get a loop and the radio never turns off, even if you turn the lever off. Which is interesting and creative, but kind of annoying. So, keep that in mind. Expect more videos in future days, more mod guides on the PRC and on Rednet in general from Minefactory Reloaded. I'd like to thank both of these folks for contributing so quickly and so accurately and giving these solutions that I can now pass on to the community. I'm very happy when this kind of stuff happens. It makes me very, very eager to do even more. Thanks everybody for swinging by. This is Vaygrim, signing off. Bye-bye.